Hello, it's Anik, and today we're going to react to this one content creator called Geographier. Geographier. So yeah, I guess this one thing is like just like new meme, like it's my turn, one more game of the Korean War in 1950. Oh, sorry about that. But I will react to it, so I'll just play like the whole. So hold on, guys. Yeah, but basically, um. I will like play the whole entire short and then give my point of view of the short and then we'll just continue from there. Yeah, okay. So well here's the thing, right? This would have like never happened if people actually surveyed the area and actually like saw like the cultural link between the North Koreans and South Koreans. I mean, this was purely because of ideology, like nothing else. I mean, it was a Japanese colony, and then boom, the Soviet Union and the Americans splitted it, and then purely because of ideological difference. I mean, if that wasn't the reason, then well, there's no other reason basically to split them, and that also got like, and I think 4 million people also died in that. So yeah, but yeah, the North Koreans were actually starting to win after a surprise attack, but then UN and the others came and then the North Koreans were pushed all the way to the Chinese border, and then well, then the Chinese came to help, and well, yeah, and then it became stable. Actually, funny fact, the armistice was actually being begun to Stein. So armistice, so actually a peace agreement actually only started negotiations like 2018 only. So it's actually like a really far. Okay, so basically, what is just said is like how the evolution of Turkey or the rise of Turkey, but I think it's like the history of Turkey. So yeah, they were originated like Far East Asia, but then they just migrated, and then the Seljuk Empire basically then brought them to the Anatolia Peninsula, and then that's where the Ottomans rise. And then when the Ottomans started to win battles, you could basically see like this is like the start of like a new age in Turkic history. But again, after the Ottomans reached their peak, the edit really doesn't show like how they downfall. But basically, after their rise, there's like downfall. Like the French fought them in Algeria. They lost momentum in Austria. They lost a bunch of wars with Russia, and overall they just had like poor logistics. Because they were adapting to old technology, they were just like not reforming their government. They just didn't federalize. And then when the World War II was kind of like the final nails in the coffin, and then done. But Turkey, and then the Republic of Turkey came and well, they defeated the Allied powers and then got control of the Anatolian Peninsula. So yes, okay, yes, because Ukraine, I mean, the Ukraine is like really known for like the Kievan Rus, since that was like very like Ukrainian, I mean, it's literally named after Kiev, the Ukrainian capital, but like, how is Finland given like good history? I mean, Finland, it doesn't have like that much history. Now if you're from Finland and you know more than me, because I don't know that much from Finland, but yeah, um, I never really seen like Finland have like that much history. I mean they're mostly colonized by like Sweden or Russia basically, and I don't know why Germany got incredible history. I mean Germany is kind of a new state if you're gonna think about it. I mean I think Iran should have got the spot. Rather than that, great at it. I mean honestly, like I didn't know some empires, and the Austrians. I mean maybe we actually don't know Austria. Austria was actually like a Hasbah country, and they actually kind of like controlled Spain. Like basically, the Habsburgs were like the peak, but then they kind of downfall. And then there's like no land, no more land for the Habsburg, but the Habsburgs still do exist, just no longer controlling land. Okay, so about the British Raj, that was not established in 1923. That was established in 1857. But yeah, basically this is like only like the Indian subcontinent. Now about the Mughal thing, that should be part of Pakistani history, not Indian. Since that was a majority Muslim. But yeah, the rest is actually pretty good. And honestly, no hate to Pakistan. I mean, yeah. Actually, I don't know what the hell I'm even saying anymore. But yeah, I actually really love like the question mark in Kashmir, because like it's actually like a disputed territory. It's actually split between Pakistan, India, and China. Yeah, honestly, I do not know how the hell China got in. But basically, 1962, Chinese fought the Indians, and well, they got a piece of Kashmir. India and Pakistan have always fought for Kashmir. And also in 1971, it was a liberation pact of Bangladesh from Pakistan. But yeah, that is a pretty good history of India.
Rachel Amber. Rachel Amber. Rachel Amber. Rachel Amber. Rachel Amber. Rachel. 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 I wonder what happened to her. What is this? No. Rachel. There's no way she's dead. No way.
And key thing, right? So yeah, the British colonized most of the world. They caught like 25% of the world at their peak in 1920. But people really don't realize the aftermath. Like you get success, but at the cost of what? Because a great famine of the Irish. So basically, what happened? The British kind of starved the Irish out of potatoes. So yeah, the colonization of America was basically like the whole entire extermination of the local American people, and just like replace them with like their own. And that's why you see like so many, because Americans are basically just like of like British origin. They just have like a different accent, and that's the same with Canadians. And the Latin world is basically Spanish, and Brazil is basically Portuguese. So yeah, the Americans really got like exterminated basically. India faced like the Bengal famine during World War II, and the colonization was just like very bloody, if I'm gonna be honest. And Africa got like the worst treatment, if I'm gonna be honest. Yeah. So yeah, that reminds that success comes with a cost. There's nothing that there's always gonna be a problem in every success. So yeah. So basically, yes, okay. So Iran, okay. So there's like no military casualties, but they've already reached peace. Yeah. But yeah, in Iran and USA war, there's only civilian casualties. There's like no military casualties. Russia and Ukraine, I think it's like already very bloody. So yeah. And the Israel-Palestine war is also bloody. And yeah, World War One was probably like one of the bloodiest wars in human history. Like 20 million deaths, that's quite a lot. The Korean War was 4 million deaths. World War II as well. Actually, funny fact, the Soviet Union actually faced more deaths than the entire World War One deaths combined. Sorry, I mean not combined. So basically, the Soviet Union got 27 million deaths, and the total casualty of all countries inside World War One faced 20 million deaths. So it is. So yeah, they practically just lost like a whole entire generation of young Soviet boys. Yeah, okay. So I don't know why it got 11. I think it'd be like top 10 something, but whatever. I have one question here. So yeah, I mean, what I got to say about this is that I don't think many people actually expected India to be like number 4, just because I mean you see pictures now. That's because of GDP per capita, because India has a population of 1.4 billion people. While India has a GDP worth of 5 trillion, so yeah, it's already quite less. I think the average person earns like $10,000. But yeah, Japan is kind of falling out. I mean, they were actually once the second biggest economy, but then their economy kind of crashed because of aggressive lending. And if Russia didn't have sanctions, I think the GDP would be higher. But due to war in Ukraine, I think that's kind of draining their resources. And I mean, USA is kind of falling off. But USA might actually be falling behind India in like 2050. Reports say that China might be number 1 in the future, and India will be second, and then USA just be third. But yeah, and which has like huge potential, like the huge amounts of resources. I mean, they actually don't export much, just because they need it for like guns and stuff. So yeah. Now, yeah. The Roman Empire was probably one of the greatest empires. It actually like shaped civilization in Europe. The Russian Empire. Now, here's the thing, right? Russia's weakness is like they have like the biggest coastline in the world, but like it's just frozen. Actually, I don't know why I'm saying it that way. What? No, yeah, but yeah. So the Japanese like really fallen off ever since the last of World War II. India is also India kind of resembles the Mauryan Empire, but yeah, I think overall, yeah, 3.1, I think India controls less than 3.1% of the world. But yeah, even with the Russians losing a lot of territory, they are still the biggest. I mean, USA and Canada combined still barely surpasses Russia by 2 million square kilometers. I think you can face like 2. No, I don't think you can. But my point is that modern politics and nationalism just like won't allow like big empires, because like if you think about it, the Macedonian Empire was filled with like ethnic groups, and then once Alexander the Great died, boom, just split apart.
I believe it is time to go. Me and the devil walking side by side.
I do not get why the hell is Israel invading USA. I still don't know. But yeah, this is basically like World War II. I mean, just like a bunch of wars. Yeah, I guess that's all I have to say basically. Okay, so Republic of Turkey, yeah, it's actually like a really like surprising rank, but honestly, no hate for it. They literally like fought off like major powers to get their independence. What was the number 8? Yeah, it's Great Britain. Yeah, Britain's like really fallen off ever since the collapse of the British Empire. I mean, policy is just like not good in Britain. For the last 10 years, there's been 8 prime ministers, I'm guessing, right? But yeah, it's like really concerning for the British politics, and the military just doesn't help. It was 6 like last year. Now they're just 8. They're behind France, which is it's not concerning. France is also really strong, but we had better expectation of the UK. So South Korea now, just because South Korea is number 5 doesn't mean they're stronger than North Korea. Because remember, North Korea does have nuclear missiles. They can use that anytime. And then I got nothing else to say, I think. And let's also see what the hell was that Indian thing saying. What the hell did the Indian guy always say? What? Anyways. Okay, yeah. So, about the Czechia thing, it's not really Czechia's fault actually that that they lost. I mean, they had like the second strongest army in Central Europe, and in the Sudetenland, they're like bunch of fortifications. So I don't. So I think if the Munich Agreement didn't happen, I think like I think they would still be defeated, but I think it would be like really bloody for the Germans. So yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, Poland has like no chance. I mean, it's going against the Soviet Union and the Germans. Yeah. I mean, Netherlands fell. Sorry, Denmark and Norway fell. I mean, Denmark literally surrendered in 6 hours. Netherlands never surrendered. Could have never surrendered. Belgium and Luxembourg was never expected to survive anything. France was actually kind of disappointing because I mean, even though the Germans were strong, they had an inferior army than the French and British. So the French and British could have actually won the war. But the French commanders like just like refused to believe like German forces would go to the Ardennes because it was deemed as impossible to pass through. I think that's how they encircled the army and made the British volunteer and the French army go to Dunkirk. And yeah, so the fall of France really gave Germany like legitimacy over its power, like Nazi Germany. But yeah, but like every single empire that has tried to conquer Russia has inevitably failed. The Napoleon failed. The Ottomans failed. Now Germany is also gonna fail. So yeah, and the Germans should really recognize the power of the Luftwaffe against the Royal Air Force and the Royal Navy. And yeah, the USA just had like superior army and industry. So yeah. Now, yeah, okay, that comment right there, yeah. So you can see that by land, but like, by percentage, the Vatican would be like the most. I mean, the Papal States which actually like control like mainland Italy, but they kind of collapsed. But yeah, even with Russia losing 20% of their land, which is actually like quite a lot, like Kazakhstan is like the ninth biggest country in the world. So yeah, even with that, they're still the biggest country. Yeah. China lost 34. Portugal he bought to the 99%. Spain was also bought to the 90s, and the British and also So that really means like size doesn't really matter. It's like how you use your tactics because I mean tactics always win in the end.
My enemies are many. My equals are none. Never thought for an instant Pompey would accept such terms.
That terrible sun will burn like the fires of hell upon our heads.
The riches of the new world are limitless, and the new world is ours.
Biz ezelden ta ebed meydana gelmişlerdeniz.
Now, yeah. So Napoleon, he was like the supreme army, like he would defeat like any army. But he's talking about army, not the navy, or the winter. So yeah, that's done for Napoleon. Yes, he had too much pride. He thought that his equals are none. But the Russian scorched to earth tactic was pretty much the thing that kept them alive. And Pompey. Wait, so let me just check what. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so Napoleon was full of pride. He tried to rule Europe, but his pride destroyed him, yeah. the Pompey people were drowned in lust and pleasure. That's why they got wiped out. Yeah. So the Pompey was like this rich province or rich relation, and they got annihilated by the Romans. The Ottomans fell because of exactly. They resisted change. I mean, they didn't reform in any way. Exactly. The Japanese were we're superior army in Asia. We can just conquer anybody, can't they? I mean, they just lost badly in Mongolia. Exactly. Spain, instead of keeping gold reserves, we can build massive things. We can fund wars. Envy. Exactly. They envied the Ottomans. I mean, they lost. I mean, gained land and lost land to the Ottomans. Oh, wait, someone's saying that Nazi Germany could be Russia, born from the humiliation of the Treaty of Versailles and the weakness of the Weimar Republic is rage. Oh, actually, not bad. So the Chinese are enormous willpower, and then they eventually just pushed the Japanese back in the end of the war. And when the Ethiopians won the first Italo-Ethiopian War in 1895, it really proved that even if a major European power couldn't always conquer African countries, and that really put a and then that's why Ethiopia actually became independent in the Berlin Conference of 1887. What else was there? France. I think it's just because of this one guy, I forgot her name, and then that gave huge morale to the French, and then they just kicked the British out of mainland Europe. That's all I gotta say. Oh, and the Mamluks as well. The Mamluks were the only stop of the Mongols to have the Mamluks were the protector of Africa from the Mongols, and because they won their battle, the Mongols just, and number two, the Mongols just had succession problems. So yeah. Exactly. So yeah, Saddam Hussein, they killed the Iranians, they tried to take over Kuwait, and both of those failed. But and the death of Adolf Hitler was obviously bad. And here's the crazy thing: Hirohito was never punished for his war crimes. I mean, he basically got spared just because of the Cold War. Well, that's what I could say, and this is the end of the video. So yeah, bye bye, and I'll see you the next time.